Thank you. Thank you, Joe, for hosting
I
the
apologize for
investment
being so
portion.
late, but my my password just didn't work.
Okay. Yeah, I had a problem getting on too. I had a,
Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
yeah. Okay, I ask everybody to mute themselves except for those gentlemen who are going to be participating in the business portion. Okay, welcome. We've got 44 participants at this point, and hopefully we'll get a few more signing on. Schools were delayed, but fortunately, the good part of Zoom is that we didn't have to cancel our meeting today. So welcome to our February 11th meeting, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and as usual, let's indulge ourselves in a moment of silence and prayer and reflection that things keep moving along. I noticed today that the infection rate is in the paper under 3.7%, which is going in the right every day. It goes in the right direction down, and that our public officials do what's right for our country and not what's right for themselves. All right, thank you. Before we get into my speech, Bill Johnson sent me an email that he heard that, or he was at the VA, and they are now accepting 50 and people who are 50 years old and above to get the COVID vaccine. I have no further information on that. So if you're over 50 and under 65, you could call the VA to get more information on that program. And starting today, I got an email from Congressman Hines' office that you can sign up, 65 and over can sign up for the shots. So again, we're not the authority on it. Check with the Congressman's office, check with the VA if you fall into those areas. I'm sure there'll be plenty of information in the media and on the city website and state websites. Our speaker next week is Bobby Valentine, and what we're trying to do is make next week's meeting a virtual open house. So invite your friends and family, and our recruitment director, Howie, will say more on the subject later regarding the open house to bring in new members. And Stu will say something about Bobby Valentine's speech. Today's speaker is Rabbi Jay Tel-Rav. His talk is going to be on the impact that COVID will have on community formation in the future. And Stu will talk about that also. Stu?
Oh, okay. Good morning, everybody. Good to see everyone. Just a note ahead of time for our presentations at 10:45. I've noticed that we don't seem to have as many wives other guests of you to listen to the presentations, which we would normally have if we were live. So don't forget to mention this, have your wife sit next to you or wherever, and enjoy the presentations too. Sometimes we forget about that. So with that, as Joe mentioned, Bobby Valentine next week is going to talk about the things he knows about, which are basically baseball and Stanford. I checked with his administrator. He's still on the schedule. Looking forward to being with us next week. The week after that is Lori Price. We all know Lori. She's been around for 30 years, I think 30 years plus. She's going to talk about General Money Matters. The week after that is Dr. Rachel Albright. Dr. Albright is a podiatrist, and she's going to talk about all kinds of foot ailments that she's encountered or that could possibly be encountered. So we labeled her talk, "Oh My Aching Feet." So that should be pretty interesting, I think. She'll be discussing a variety of the common foot problems, ranging from toenail issues, fungus, pains, all that kind of stuff. So I think it should be very, very interesting. I know I visited my podiatrist just this week, and he was quite helpful. He's actually the one who suggested Dr. Albright talk to us. The week after that, as you see, is the Chief of Police of Stanford, the new Chief of Police of Stanford, Tim Shaw. I actually spoke to him again yesterday. He's looking forward to being with us to talk about what's going on in the police department. I asked him for a better title than what you see there, and his administrator will get back to me next week with a better title anyway. So that's what's going on for programs. Again, invite your friends and your acquaintances to next week's Bobby Valentine. Howie, you got something to say about Bobby Valentine?
Thank you. Good morning. I would like to first of all thank Lou Terry, David Kaplan, and Rich Ostro getting their invitations out. Between myself and the other three, I have record of 11 invitations out. Now, I don't expect all 11 to show up because some have not committed. But come on, guys. There's got to be more than 4 of us that know people that might be interested in the club. Give it a shot. We need members. So please, if you do, and if anyone has invited anybody and hasn't informed me yet, let me know, please, because it would be great. I can keep a record of it. Thanks for your help. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Howie.
Excellent. Okay, Ira, meeting minutes.
Good morning. I assume everyone received the minutes for last week's meeting. I didn't get a chance to call Carl. The attendance as confirmed by Stuart and myself is actually 57. Minor correction.
I maintain that the presenter doesn't get counted.
I object.
Ira, thank you. And as always, an excellent recounting of our meeting, and they are approved.
Thank you.
Next, Larry.
Okay, we had a lively discussion this morning on Invested, hosted by Joe D, a little bit late, and Bill Flannery, who was nice to see again, jumped in and participated to a great degree. February 18th, Bob Butke's talking on technology. On the 25th, Joe D comes back to talk about current events. On March 4th, Art Feldman speaks about the effect of technology on cultural norms. And on March 11th, Joe D comes back to talk about investing again. And so that's the program for the next 4 weeks at 9:20. Next slide. Okay, yesterday we had some hardy souls who did the walk at, it looks like Irwin Park, but it looks like actually was at the Cove yesterday. Yep, there it says that. There's David, Brian McDermott. Good to see you there, Brian. Jerry and Joan Krantz, Franco, and Lou Terry. I guess Carl took the picture. It's a good thing I couldn't make it yesterday because I was getting my second vaccination. So at that time. So I invite everybody. Next week it's at Irwin Park in New Canaan. Good way to have fresh air, scenery, conversation, and some exercise. Next, the picnic is scheduled for Thursday, September 23rd. Stu, you want to talk about it?
Yes, actually, I have confirmed the caterer. I've just about confirmed the mayor. And the application for the permit is been submitted. They won't get back to me until probably, what's today, till about the middle of March, but they don't anticipate any problem. I spoke to the permitting clerk yesterday. So we seem to be in good shape for the 23rd. I guess the mayor might have an incentive to want to speak to us, since it looks like he's going to have competition from Caroline Simmons, whom we've had here speak. She's apparently, according to the paper, running for mayor against Martin. So he shouldn't blow us off. So again, mark your calendars, September 23rd. Thanks, Larry.
Okay.
Carl?
All right. It looks like these numbers reflect what we're going to see for the balance of the year. I'm not going to go over this next week because it's the open house. We want to have a positive spin on things, but you can see the numbers are down. We always have a turnover, and we generally recruit 20 or more new members every year to replace those we lose. And what we've seen over the past 12 months is just the decline. The people who have moved, who have, because of illness, no longer are participating, and people have just dropped out, lost interest because of the pandemic and the restrictions that places on our activities. So places like to echo what Howie said about the importance of inviting people. And Howie, I've got a couple of people I'm going to invite. I just didn't want to invite them 2 Thursdays in advance, so I'm going to wait until the days pass before I send them my invitations, and hopefully other people are doing the same
Great.
thing.
Just please send me their names.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Now these are the remaining people who have been contacted. There may be 1 or 2 exceptions here because my communications back and forth between the contactors and the contactees is not perfect. But to the best of our knowledge, these are the people who have not paid their dues. And Jerry was on the walk yesterday and recognized 4 of these names as people that he knew very well, and he's going to be contacting them. Anybody else who recognizes names, I'd appreciate you giving them a call. If you need, for some reason you don't have their phone number, just send me an email and I'll give you the phone number that I have. I think I have, well, as far as I can tell, I have worthwhile phone numbers for most of these people. And if you need that, just please contact me.
Carl,
do
quick
you know
question. On the 206, the 206 reflects that these people have been suspended, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so if they all pay their dues, we get 14 more.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Carl, do you know if these people have been participating through Zoom at all, or is that maybe part of the problem that they haven't been? They don't know how to.
We don't know for sure, but they all were all contacted back in the spring as part of the. I forget, it was maybe Stu and I spearheaded it, and Steve others got involved, and we contacted these people by phone and asked if we had correct emails and things. And of course, Steve monitors the email addresses to make sure they're current. If he gets a response that it's no longer in use, he contacts me. We do the best we can. To our knowledge, these people all have email, And they don't have, they're not interested in, for various reasons. I mean, a lot of them are in their late 80s and they're just not comfortable or interested in Zoom, but they have received communications from us, and they are Zoom capable, and we have offered to help them if they want some assistance.
Thank you, Carl. I know you've been putting a lot of effort into this and really appreciate what you've been doing.
You're welcome. And it's just the address, and people who do read this or need the additional, my contact information is on this slide.
Fellowship Director, David.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Well, first of all, it's good to see that so many of our members have gotten their COVID vaccinations and things are opening up. I spoke with Elaine Sharlock the other day. She's doing well, and she remarked how much Senior Men's meant to Lester and asked that I mention that she greatly appreciated the positive support that she had gotten from members since Lester's passing on July 16th and since then. It's hard to believe it's been 7 months, but I told her that Lester certainly is within our memory. So next slide, please. Carl?
Hey, Dave, just one question. We at Stonebrook, Lester was my neighbor, as you all know.
Yeah.
And there was a park bench that we have where he would sometimes, when he walked Harry, his dog, he would sit there. So we had a plaque made in memory of Lester Sharlock, and we put it out there. And when spring comes, we're going to have a little event, for the neighbors to christen it towards Lester.
Oh, that's terrific, Rod. And does Elaine know that, or is this going to be a surprise to her?
She knows it, and
Okay,
she's seen it already. Yes.
well, that's good. And I understand that Harry is doing well also, so.
Yes, he lost a little weight.
That's right. Okay, John Sedlak, good to see you here today. I spoke with Jack Jablonski, and he mentioned that he has gotten calls from several members, much appreciated. So let's keep that up. Also, Lewis K is doing well and very much appreciated. As before, let me know if you know of other members who would appreciate periodic calls. Also, I'd like to ask for volunteers to form a cadre to make in a more structured way periodic calls to check on members. In discussion so far, I do have one person who has stepped up. Next slide, please. So also, as before, initiative to contact members who are in extended care, short care facilities. So let me know if you know anybody in that situation. So good news to report. What have you got?
Anybody have good news?
Well, if not, that's it, Joe.
Thank you, Dave. Talking about the Larry Holzman, you mentioned that you got your second shot. In today's paper, they were talking about some, more side effects with the second shot. Have you experienced any of that?
No, not at all. Just a little bit of soreness in the injection site, but nothing of any consequence. Although I have heard people have had, weakness, general things. And if you do, just take some 2 Tylenol or 2 ibuprofen, and usually it goes away within a day.
Yeah, that's what the article in the paper said. If anything, it's a little malaise that lasts 12 to 24 hours, and Tylenol will usually take care of that.
Yeah, and that side effect is basically the fact that your body is reacting, producing antibodies. So,
Right.
Joe,
Yes.
my granddaughter works for Moderna. And I was telling her last night on the FaceTime that Joni and I are getting our second shots tomorrow. And she says they've been telling all the employees to let people know that after the shot, the next morning, take a much longer and hotter shower than you normally do and drink a lot of water.
Yeah. And the other thing my doctor, one of my doctors, Carol's doctor said is to get the shot in the arm that you, not the arm that you got the first one in, but in the other arm.
That really doesn't matter. I had it in the same arm.
Yeah.
And no adverse effect at all.
Where'd
Great.
you get that third ear, Larry?
What?
Where'd you get that third ear?
None of the
That's
doctors
a big,
mentioned
it's
such.
a big antibody growing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next speaker is Dick Harper on the book club. Dick, the floor is yours.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I see a little bit of snow out my window, but it's nothing like what this story, The Kingdom of Ice, entails. It's an incredible tale of endurance and almost pig-headedness in trying to reach the North Pole by the open sea, which of course they found out was impossible. And it's a fascinating tale. So that's March 3rd at 10:30 normal time. And we set a date, April 4th, for the book about Ford and the Edinburgh. They're an amazing pair. And of course, they're on heroes' pedestals for a lot, but that's not what this book is going to tell you. So I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm sorry, Dick, did you say April 4th or was it April 7th? Do I have it wrong on the slide?
No, I think April 7 is right. It is. Slide's correct.
All right, thank you.
All right, do we have any discussion items?
I just want to mention, in terms of vaccine, that Stanford Hospital is incredibly well organized in doing the vaccines. So if you have a choice of places to go, that is certainly would be at the top of my list.
Yeah, I second what Larry just said. I went there for my first shot the other day, and it's unbelievable the number of volunteers they have to just take you through the whole process. Stanford Hospital, excellent.
I would agree.
Okay, guys, for any discussion, please raise your hand so we can get everybody as we go along. Bill Johnson.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the VA thing is for veterans. Anybody over 50 now. And also I had my second shot and no side effects at all.
Super. A question I have, if anybody can answer it, is I'm scheduled for my second shot in 2 weeks. And are they still doing the shots at the CHC on 5th Street as well as the?
Yes, they are.
They are.
But
okay.
Is that true? True, because I've gotten a communication this week from CHC, and they directed me to Lord and Taylor for my shot.
Carl, I got.
Is that your first one or a second?
First.
Okay, I'm scheduled for my second one at CHC, so we'll find out.
Joe, a friend of mine got his second at CHC yesterday, so evidently they are still doing it there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bill, Ira.
Just want to put in a plug for Yale New Haven Health. We got our shots at Brunswick School, which was incredibly well organized.
Up on King Street.
Up on King Street in Greenwich. And it couldn't have been easier and more pleasant than going there and doing that.
All right. Thank you, Ira. Jerry.
Yeah, I want to tell you people about an hour of very nice music that's coming up. The director of the songsters, Margie Gianquinto, that's Joe's daughter, was giving a Valentine concert tonight at 6 p.m. in conjunction with the First Presbyterian Church of New Canaan. She'll be doing the American Songbook. It is a free concert, and you can watch it on facebook.com/FPCNC, which stands for First Presbyterian Church New Canaan. I will put that in the chat room. It's at 6 p.m. this evening. Hey, support our Margie. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next, I think we're gonna have a little quiz or poll today.
What was that? No, we've got a brief little video that Bob Butke sent me. If you want to see it, it's really brief. Let me share the screen here.
Okay, what about the poll? We're gonna.
No, I keep forgetting those polls. I don't know. Hold on, I gotta find it here. Share my screen. Why is it? Doesn't show. Okay. I gotta find it.
I thought you were better at this, Steve.
Yeah, it's not showing up unless I. Okay. I go back. Maybe I had it minimized. Team. Huh. It's not showing up.
Okay. While you're trying to find it, if we have anybody have any jokes? No jokes? Alan?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Well, before I tell the joke, I wanted to say that. All right, I'll tell it afterwards.
Is it showing? I can't tell.
All right.
Doesn't look like it showed.
No, it didn't. I just heard a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before I tell my joke, I wanted to say that I got my shot, and I had a lot of pain at the injection site, so I left the injection site and went home. But that wasn't my joke.
But that was funny.
I just thought of that when we were talking about injection site. Well, a cornstalk walks into a bar and the bartender says, "You want to hear a joke?" And the cornstalk replies, "I'm all ears."
Too corny.
And then another quick one. A snake walks into a bar and the bartender says, "How the hell did you do that?" And that's it.
Okay. I can try to do the video
I
that
don't get it.
Steve was trying to do.
I can't find it. Something's wrong with my system today because I don't even show any participants today.
Oh.
Look, there's something just.
Yeah, that's Carl. Okay.
Oh.
If I just get it to go start. Let's see. That's good. Now I can't get it to start.
Press the blue arrow down on the bottom.
Down at the bottom of the screen.
On the bottom of the screen where it says the time and the reverse.
I don't see that on mine. Let's see if I can shrink it.
As we see.
Just click in the middle of the screen. Try that.
Okay.
Go straight down. Yeah.
I don't know if everyone could hear the sound effects on that.
That was great.
Yeah, Joe, you're going to have to watch for the rabbi to join because my again something's wrong here. If I pull up my participants, I only show you. No one else is showing on the list.
There we go, 49.
Yeah. Okay, he hasn't come on yet. I guess he would come under J, right?
You might come in under Tel Rev, you might come under Temple Sinai.
Yeah.
Let's,
He may need to be admitted.
He would show up at the door, yeah. I mean, I spoke to him yesterday, so he knows about this.
Yeah, it's still a little 10 minutes early, I
I
guess.
think he was trying to avoid Alan's jokes.
I did mention.
Bill Monco, do you want to say something?
Yes, I've been having trouble getting on today, so I'm behind on everything, but I don't know if this was mentioned about the shots, if I could just say something. I was having a hell of a time getting shots, and I ended up being able to get one in Old Greenwich, at the health center, I believe it was. And just as a side note to that, when I walked in to get my with my appointment, I had 11 o'clock appointment. I walked in at 10:30. I signed in at the desk, sat down. They said next. I walked in, got my shot. My wife got her shot. My sister-in-law got her shot, and we were in our car by 11 o'clock. So I don't know how long it's going to stay that way, but Greenwich seems to have a lot of openings, at least when I was there.
Yeah. Great. That's where I got my first shot. And then I couldn't sign in. They didn't have any openings or appointments. They didn't have anything set up for the second. So I ended up getting an appointment for my second one on CHC on 5th Street in 2 weeks.
Well, I did sign up, and I was able to get it for March 12th, and they had quite a bit of openings when I went in, which was about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill. Thank
Stanford Hospital has its own sign up. They don't use the VAM system.
Yeah, much easier from what I heard.
Okay, Bob Rosenthal.
Yeah, well, since we have a few minutes, I'd like to put a question to the group. After you get your second shot and after your wife gets her second shot and you've waited a couple of weeks, do you plan to relax your lifestyle a little bit, a little less of this social isolation? It's a question for the group.
Well, my wife tells me that even after we have been vaccinated, that we can still be contagious to people who have not been vaccinated. So if we have high-risk friends or people worried about who have not been vaccinated, we should still wear masks in their presence.
Well, what about your friends who have been vaccinated? Can you now share time together like the old days?
That's our expectation.
I think you have to consider that the shot is only 90 to 95% effective, whether it's on your shot or their shot. And we will continue to do distancing and continue to use masks. But as far as socializing, we can do more. We have talked about doing more than that than we are doing now. We'll see you, Bob, if you're agreeable to it.
Okay, Dick, it's an invitation.
So what you're saying is if it's 95% effective and you have 100 friends, you got to find out the 5 that you can't see.
Well, 95% sounds like a high number, but if you think about it, if you have 20 people, one person is susceptible,
Yep.
Well, that's a statistical thing. That means that you could have 1,000 people and 1,000 people won't get it, but the next 100, every one of the 100 will get it.
Well, right. It's not an even thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the 25-year rainstorm, it's not that it comes once every 25 years. You can have 5 of them in the same year.
Larry here, just to show you how screwed up the VAMS site is. I got an email from them yesterday saying, it looks, we have not seen you sign up for your second vaccination. And I basically, it was given to me when I left Stanford Hospital after the first one 3 weeks ago. So I don't know why VAMS was either not informed or, the communications with VAMS is very difficult.
Yeah, well, when I signed Carol up with VAMS, they said they received the application and they'll let us know when she can schedule an appointment. And we're still waiting to hear from them for her to schedule an appointment. And that was for the first shot, which she got 2 weeks ago at Stanford Hospital. So they don't communicate. I don't think they communicate either. Before Howie, Bill Munko, you had your hand up again?
Yes, I did. I also have rescheduled a shot on VAMS, and I've also gotten 2 emails saying I should redo it. And when I went to VAMS to see my history on there, I had the second shot scheduled, so I don't know what the hell they're looking at.
Rabbi Telrav is joining us.
Yeah. All right. I guess there's nobody else has their hand up.
Howie does, I assume.
I can't
Howie,
find
yeah.
where to do it on there.
Howie, sometimes we can't see you if you're not on our screen. So you got to do it on the blue hand, but now we see you.
Can't
Okay.
find it, Joe.
It's under reactions.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
Mine is.
Under participants.
Okay, now your hand is up, Howie. Now you can speak officially.
Okay, no, you were talking about whether you change your lifestyle. My wife said to me, we're due for our second one tomorrow. She said, will you contemplate now going in May on an airplane to go my grandson's high school graduation? And I don't really know what to do. Are you guys, after your second shot in a couple of months, prepared to get on an airplane?
Yes, I am scared to go to Albuquerque end of March. I've been advised to double mask, clean gloves, and the seats are one yes, one not in the airplane. So after the shot, I'm trying to resume a little bit normal life.
Okay, I was just curious. Thank you.
Charlie Wade, last.
First of all, I last Saturday, I called them at lunchtime, Stanford Hospital, and I got my first injection at 4:30. But what I want to talk about is a recommendation to everybody. Take a photograph of your card you get on your of the vaccinations you've got, so that you've got a record if you lose your card, because sometime in the future is you to go to certain places, they will expect you to produce proof of your vaccination. So take a photograph of it and put it somewhere that you can get hold of it at any stage and show it to people. Or now I'll talk about photograph on your iPhone or your iPad or something. That's a recommendation we've had from medical workers.
That's an excellent idea. Thanks for bringing it up.
I didn't see on the World Health Organization yet any requirement to put on the famous travel yellow card that we used for accompany the passport. So, but it will come soon, probably.
All right, Ira, this is to be the last comment, Ira.
Okay, I think what's significant is the fact that we don't know the extent of effectiveness of these vaccines. Are we going to need a repeat next year the way we do with flu shots? Or is this going to suffice for 5 years or forever? We don't know the answer to that yet.
Thank you, Ira.
Just a comment.
Okay, that now ends our business meeting, and Rabbi Jay,